I'm first.
The August 19th, 2025 regular meeting of Mount Pleasant City Council will now come to order. The time is 6 p.m. And tonight I want to go ahead and open with a prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together this evening in service to our community. We're grateful for the dedication of our firefighters and our first responders, and we honor those receiving life-saving medals tonight. Lord, our discussions on our projects and budgets before us, that we may use the city's resources and wisdom with integrity. Bless our work, our community improvements, such as Delwood Park, that they may strengthen fellowship among our residents and grant us unity, clarity, and spirit of service in all we do. In Jesus' name, amen. At this time, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All right, public comments. The City Council welcomes citizen participation and comments on all council meetings. Citizens' comments are limited to 3 minutes out of respect for everyone's time. The council is not permitted to respond to your comments. The Texas Open Meetings Act requires the topics of discussion and deliberation be posted on the agenda not less than 72 hours in advance of the council meetings. If your comments relate to the topics that are in the agenda, the council will discuss the topics on the agenda at this time that the topic is discussed and deliberated. Do we have any public comment? Come on, Joe. When you press that mic, it should turn green for you.
Reside on 40th Street in Mount Pleasant, Texas. Approximately 7 years ago, I stood at this podium for the first time, and as far as I can remember, it's only the second time that I've stood here to address an issue that concerned me with the city. That's what got me interested. That issue at the time was what got me interested in our city government and thought I could contribute. And as a lot of people know, I sit over there, and that's there for 6 years, so I've got a little experience. to get to the point, there's been a lot of talk and chatter in the area the last few days about an issue that's caught my ear. I haven't weighed in, I've just observed and listened, but it has to do with pilgrims. And that was the issue that brought me here 7 years ago, was an issue with pilgrims. At the time, the city was attempting to annex their freezer plant, which is across the creek in Kemp County in Pittsburgh. And that's what got me interested, because I was concerned, and that was one of the most packed nights of all the council meetings I've attended that night over that issue with citizens. Pilgrims has been here for many, many years. We have a lot of newcomers in the area, a lot of newcomers, and I welcome everybody. We all want to make it home, and we want to enjoy it. But the issue, if I'm on the right track, the issue that it seems to be that the smell that comes as a processing, a part of the processing of the chickens and the rendering plants, what we always called it. It's not a new issue. I think it has at times gotten a little more pungent here lately. And I don't know if there's anything in the plans to be done about that on behalf of pilgrims and or us to contribute to help them with that issue. I do know it is sometimes hard to take. Most of us that have been here all of our lives are used to it. We've seen a lot of industries come and go in my lifetime here, and that one is very vital to our area. So the new council members, the newer people, we've got a new EDC director, we've got a lot of new appointments on the EDC board. We're gonna have a new city manager. He's been here, but he's kind of new back. There's a lot of new people. Can y'all hear me? Okay. So anyhow, as we handle these issues, I know the public wants answers and they want something done about it, and I'd like to have it done. I just pray that all of us are approaching this in a very diplomatic way to let pilgrims know that we appreciate them and the value that they bring to our community, mainly for the jobs. Huge water user, okay? We've got a lot of, we just need to be careful. So I don't know how it's being handled exactly, but I've heard that pilgrims, a couple of people have responded back through the grapevine that they feel a little unappreciated. So let's just make sure, please, that we, and I'm talking about everybody involved, EDC, whomever, let's reach out to them, say, explain your process, why are we here, and how can we do something about it together? And then help the public with that information. Sorry, I went over. Part of it.
Yeah, it's tricky. Thank you, Ms. Burrell. Any other comment? All right, we're gonna move on to item number 1, awarding life-saving medals to the firefighters. And I'll invite Chief McRae up here to present the awards.
To recognize members of our department for using their skills, training, and experience to save the life of a woman who was trapped in a vehicle on fire because of a vehicle accident. During the early morning hours of March 28, 1925, or 2025, excuse me, that's a long time ago, sorry. Engine 2 from B Shift Station 2 was dispatched to a vehicle accident at the 173-mile marker of I-30 with a vehicle on fire and a person trapped inside. Engine 2 was staffed by Captain Adam Decker, driver Phil Fry, firefighter Aaron Williams, and Deputy Chief Mauricio Rodriguez also responded to the call. Upon Engine 2's arrival, they found the vehicle on its side up against a tree with the driver's side on the high side. The vehicle's engine compartment was fully involved with fire and was beginning to impinge on the passenger compartment where the driver was trapped. Captain Decker and firefighter Williams used a hose line to suppress the fire, while driver Fry set up traffic cones and scene safety, and turned on the scene lights to illuminate the area. Once the fire was suppressed, a ventilation fan was put in place to blow the heat and smoke from the still smoldering fire away from the occupant and the firefighters. Deputy Chief Rodriguez arrived on scene at this time and the extrication of the driver was begun. This was no ordinary extrication. The car was on its side up against a tree, which made accessing the driver very difficult. The vehicle had to be stabilized to ensure it did not move while they were rescuing the driver. She was still seat belted in and hanging by the seat belt with her legs trapped under the dash. The driver was severely injured, including smoke inhalation from the fire. Hydraulic cutters were used to remove the roof to provide access to the driver. A hydraulic ram was used to push the dash away from her to free her leg. And due to the lack of manpower, 2 bed sheets were tied together and secured to the vehicle to hold the patient's weight while the seat belt was cut. After she was freed from the seat belt, she was lowered onto a backboard and removed from the vehicle. At that time, EMS and DPS personnel helped move her to an ambulance. So it took about 10 minutes for our guys to get out there. This is like way out on I-30. And then it took about an hour of these guys working to get her out. These guys over here, you're seeing, that's 94 years of experience between those 4 guys. Rodriguez, 27 years, Decker, 30, Fry, 23, Williams, 14. Basically, these guys know what to do without talking to each other. When they get there, they start to work. They don't have to talk. They just do what they do. There was no response available from the VFD, the volunteer fire department that was in that district, so it was just these guys that were doing that. To put that in perspective, if that had happened in Mount Pleasant, there would have been 11 trained, experienced firefighters doing the job, not just the 4 of these guys. Also, can you imagine what it would have been like if they had to do that today and try to do that for an hour to get this lady out? There's no one to relieve them, no one for them to be able to take a break. They would have had no choice but to continue to work no matter how tired they were. Otherwise, the driver would have suffered for it. So, for the use of their many hours of training, years of experience, skills, and physical ability in saving the life of the driver of the vehicle, Deputy Chief Mauricio Rodriguez, Captain Adam Decker, driver Phil Fry, and firefighter Aaron Williams are awarded the fire department life-saving medal. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. All right, let's go ahead and move on to item number 2. Consider the approval of the, this is the new consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are approved through a single council motion, which applies to all items listed. Consent agenda items are considered routine, not likely to require discussion or deliberation, and may be discussed prior to making a motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member requests an item be removed and considered separately. So item number 2, consider approval of August 5th, August 7th, and August 12th, 2025 meeting minutes. And item number 3, considered pay request number 3 for Drake Paving LLC LLC for work performed at Mount Pleasant Regional Air Force, Southwest Site Development and Drainage Improvements. So can we get a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from August 5th, August 7th, August 12th. And I make a motion to consider pay request number 3 for Drake Paving.
I second.
Madam Secretary, can we get a vote?
Yes.
Aye.
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 All right, motion passed unanimously. Let's go ahead and move on to the regular agenda. Item number 4, consider ordinance 2025-15, amending the fiscal year 2025 budget.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. So this is the first of 2 budget amendments you'll see today for our current fiscal year. This first one is for grant funds for both the library grant fund and within our capital improvement funds for the airport grants. And so the library's received several grants, as y'all have heard about over the past few months, and this is just catching up the budget so that the revenue and the expense sides are all accounted for within our budget, and it's not showing that we're going over. Same thing for the airport side. When we did the budget last year, we only allocated the part that's our portion and not the entire expense portion and the grant revenue that's being received for that project. And so this is just a little housekeeping to get that all back in order. So recommend a motion to approve ordinance 2025-15 to amend the fiscal year 2025 budget for grant funds.
All right, can we go ahead and get a motion?
Make a motion to vote on ordinance 2025-15, amending fiscal year 2025 budget grant.
I second.
Madam Secretary, can you take a vote, please?
Aye.
Aye. Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 passed unanimously, and we'll go ahead and move on to item number 5 with Jillian.
So this is the second budget amendment. This is for funds that we received from an auction that we did recently. I believe it came to y'all for approval of the items that we were sending to auction. Various things from PD, some from a few other departments as well, and I believe motor grader from the Parks Department. And so all those funds have now been sold through the auction, and we received those. And we have several one-time payments to come out of those that I believe y'all got a little bit of a sneak peek about for replacing the motor grader, getting some more mowers for the park department, getting some various equipment for the fire department, and then a one-time payment for the police department for a bill that kind of lapsed in billing, and so it's more than what we anticipated before. And so this is just catching up those funds to allocate all those.
Mr. Mayor, just hold on, Mr. Mayor. You didn't look this way. So if I could just, I just wanted to add before you started voting on this item. So, you know, occasionally, certainly not every year, all cities will go out and auction off property, and not property, but certain equipment, and so you get this happening where there's these proceeds. And so when looking at expending those, I certainly look at one-time expenditures, things that aren't reoccurring, and equipment would be one of those things. And so we took a look at this, and because of the budget situation we had last year, and even this year was very tight, what we were proposing, we haven't been replacing equipment. And so we felt that this was a very good use of selling equipment, was buying new equipment with it. And again, it'll be something that is not in the budget to do next year. And so we wanted to put this forward to city council as part of this budget to, again, spend these one-time funds on, one-time expenditures. Thank you.
All right, can we get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-16, amending the fiscal year 2025 budget for auction funds.
I second.
Madam Secretary, can we get a vote? Oh, now it's Barb.
Yes.
Aye.
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 Vote unanimous. Let's go ahead and move on to item number 6. Consider Delwood Park improvement construction documents and construction administration with Garrett.
Good evening, council, Mr. Nyhoff, Mr. Mayor. Tonight, I'm bringing a proposal from MHS Planning and Design for the professional services for Delwood Park. This will cover the design development phase, construction document phase, bidding phase, and construction administration. So this will carry us all the way through from conception to the finished product. So they'll be helping us from here on out if you so desire to approve of their contract. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over a few of the renditions and kind of give you an oversight of what all will be happening at Delwood Park. Some of y'all have seen this one already, but somewhat. So here's an overview of some of the improvements that we'll be making. New courts, new pavilion, etc. And here's some of the renditions of the main area. The main area of focus is going to be, as you come down the hill, you'll see where the old courts and stuff were. We'll be taking all that out and redoing, coming in with all new stuff. So it's going to be really nice, a really premium product. Another rendition. So here's the project schedule. We had a goal setting meeting. We started that out, going over that. We held a community meeting at the Civic Center. We had a lot of input from the community there. Parks Board approved the final design layout on July 24th. It passed 3-0. And then tonight we're bringing you the proposal. So the construction documents and construction administration costs for this project comes to a total of $178,225. That will cover, like I said, it's a fee structure, but it covers the entirety of the project. There are some reimbursables. This is based on a total estimated project of $1.8 million. Staff recommendation recommend a motion to approve. Do you have any questions?
So, Mr. Mayor, just to have a quick point of clarification, I didn't make sure that the contract that's included in here was reviewed by the city attorney's office, so we don't have any issues with the scope of the work or anything, but just making sure that the legal document certainly goes through the city attorney. So should you wish to approve this document tonight, the proposal, would ask that you make it subject to her approval and negotiating an approval. Thank you.
And I may have already asked this, but is there gonna be anything done with the fountains out there? 'Cause they look pretty bad most of the time.
So that we're just gonna address that outside of this.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so that's just a normal maintenance issue, so
all right,
we'll be addressing that.
cool, thank you, Eric. All right, we ready?
So the company that's doing this, it's the same company that did the soccer complex?
Yes, ma'am, and Heritage before that years ago.
You and I had a brief conversation, but pickleball, which I know nothing about, and your description about those pickleball courts will be nice where we could hold tournaments. So, do you know people who have pickleball tournaments that you can reach out and bring them here so we can recoup some money?
I don't know anyone that hosts tournaments, but I know a lot of people in the pickleball community. So I'm sure they'll be excited. It'll be, we'll have the option to use the tennis courts as well, so it'll be a total of 6 pickleball courts. That's a pretty good number there.
Any other questions? I'm good.
Based on what the city manager said, so the way this is presented is, it's like a proposal. The contract isn't complete, and so I just think you should be very clear in any motion that it's subject to negotiation and finalization of any kind of contract.
I make a motion to approve the MHS Planning and Design LLC proposal for professional services for the Elwood Park Improvement Construction only after our attorney approves the documents.
I second.
All right, Madam Secretary, can we get a vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Vote is unanimous on item number 6, and we will move on to item number 7, the city manager's report.
Thank you, sir. Mayor's members, council, I just, dealing with, working with Garrett and, knowing he's gone to several community meetings out there. He just posted one of them, but I think that was your 3rd out there. And there's a lot of excitement there, and I guess for me, and certainly Garrett, you work on this, we've had several discussions on it, like how do we proceed this, what's the best way to do, how do we get the best contractors, and to actually get it off of discussion stage into the actual documentation, the site plans, the construction plans, and so forth. I would just say congratulations. It's a project that's been on the books for a little while, and it's being funded with bond funds, and it's just exciting for the community to see those kind of improvements. We have a lot to debate. We discuss a lot of things here, but when you see things like this, it'll definitely be quality of life type of improvements. Those are exciting things. Why I certainly have done this for all the years I have, is to be able to put together improvements like this for the community. Just for the community, and certainly reminder to council, at the next council meeting, September 2, is public hearing number 1 on the 2025-26 fiscal year budget. And so we certainly welcome the community to come and attend. I'll do a revised and shorter version than what we do during the 2 work sessions. I think it would be good community to know that this council has spent probably 6 or 7 hours on work sessions really going through the budget, and that's a great process to really make sure that they're understanding what it is that is being proposed. So that's September 2 at the regular city council meeting. You've got department reports in the packets were there. And then just to say, I'm sure maybe Mayor wants to talk about it. We do have a meeting scheduled with Pilgrims, and really the intent is there's be a new city manager very soon. And so introduction of the new city manager to the Pilgrims folks. The mayor is going to join me. I've already had, when I was here on round 1, I already had some conversations with them. So this is number 1, always about relationship building with our highest employer in the city, and certainly a very important employer. And certainly we're just wanting to build those relationships and see if there isn't something we can do. So your comments from the citizen are welcomed and clearly understood that, this needs to be a very positive relationship building. I really, I've been here about a year and I've met them one time. They came to my office. And so I think it's good to try to build, our relations with our corporate, community members as a council, and certainly as the new city manager coming in. So I think it'll be a really good meeting, and look forward to that. And we do have a meeting with TriSud coming up very soon, so we're kind of getting Rob, new city manager, acquainted with some of the really important issues. I have to say, we hit him with screw pumps today. So you all remember that from the wastewater system, but that's still not completely over with yet, and so we're still working on total resolution of that. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
I just want to get you to correct me if I'm wrong on the budget items. So, our budget for next year is less than what it was last year, correct? Cool.
That's correct.
Okay. And then the payroll this was a question that somebody asked, the payroll for next year is less than what it was last year. Is that including the increase?
That's correct.
Okay, and then the property taxes, if they are raised, that will still leave us in the second to the lowest position, just above Tyler.
Of the 25 cities that we looked at, yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool. All right. Anybody have any comment? Question? All right, we'll go ahead and adjourn into executive session. Pursuant to Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, the City Council will recess into an executive session to discuss the following: consultation with the legal counsel, Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with legal counsel regarding contract terms and provisions of interlocal agreement for fire services.
I wanted to remind everybody that, and I'm looking at Larry, I want to remind everybody about the fundraiser for Kirk Brown. It's Friday and it's at the park. So those of us that work, we could probably run down there, pick up a plate. Do we need to bring our own plate? You can deliver? Okay. So that's what I was wondering, and I think what I read is that you can take cash or check, but make it out to Kurt. It's Kurt Brown. Okay, and he is one of our firefighters that is dealing with cancer. Okay, is there anything else I need to add to that? Okay, so I'm planning on making sure I get some catfish. Is it catfish? No, barbecue. Barbecue. No, barbecue's fine. No, barbecue's fine. But delivering would be good, because that way people could continue to work. And so what phone number do they call? Five 575. Say it again. 575. 40.
There you go.
4,000, yeah. 575 4000 city. They'll transfer you to the fire. Okay.
Awesome, and one more thing Councilman Knight reminded me of. Candace, can you just talk briefly about Prayer Day?
So on September the 4th, we will be having prayer here at City Hall starting at 9 a.m. Everyone is invited to come, all that will and want to. And we are just going to pray and bless. It's for the city. It's no individuals. It's just strictly for praying for the city of Mount Pleasant.
Thank you. I was excited when I heard that. All right, we'll go ahead and adjourn.
September the 4th, not this. It's not this week.
All right. So we'll go ahead and adjourn into our executive session. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. If I don't see you.